Virtus.Pro recently lost to Envy, but maybe they won't be expecting a stiff opposition in mousesports, who the desk says have one good player.
Well, that's the thing with mousesports, you never quite know, because Nico can just go off, he can do whatever he wants, he can AWP, he can be an amazing entry fragger with the AK-47 and really open up the map for your team. And again, if Chris J is playing well, then that's also going to be a pretty big boon to your team. But can't talk too much about that, as we are live into the pistol round now, and looks like we've got actually 2 Molotovs on the T side. So that does tell me that they want to finish on the B bomb side. Typically, teams are going to pick those up if they are going for that B plant.
Look at this layout from the CTs. If we can bring up the minimap quickly, they've got 3.5 people in the B bomb side. Barley can rotate quickly should he be required. So it seems maybe Virtus.Pro have a hard read on what to expect from mousesports on this pistol. And as this continues with really no action from the T side, they may be convinced that it's going to be a B play. You can see Dennis with the bomb in Pop Dog. Oh no, he's above Pop Dog, in fact. I'm looking at the mini-map there. So wondered if he was going to go for a crazy play. Sometimes people, for example, will take the bomb towards Ivy and show the bomb. Doesn't happen very often, that kind of play. Show the bomb in one place, take it to another place. So 3 people towards Ivy here for mousesports. They're throwing smokes into the A site, but they're still holding passive positions towards Ivy, for example. Chris J and Spiddy being very passive indeed. Slowly creeping in. Nico Dennis have made it onto the site, actually, with no response here from Virtus.Pro.
So we have the first Molotov thrown. It's onto the train that have guaranteed the plant, but Yali will take down Dennis as he tries to escape after planting that bomb. And we have frags going back and forth at the moment as Virtus.Pro try to work some space onto the site. And there it is, the smoke defused with the kit. This is a very high pressure play. That's going to force the to act. Oh, Nico just barely finds the frag, and a third as well. He's not done just yet, and Snacks will get eliminated by Chris J. And that was incredibly fast, almost too fast to follow, and it was a great play. Neo almost had that defuse. He was short. I mean, it must have been like 100 milliseconds or something that he was away from getting the round win there.
Yeah, I thought that was a done deal, but obviously Nico was alive then. Therefore, it was never a done deal. mousesports with an important pistol round. Well, there we go. That could have easily gone the way of Virtus.Pro. It is not easy. They had Operation Meat Shield in play as well. There was somebody standing right in front of the diffuser, but to no avail. Nico is just too much. So we have Pasha coming out with the scout now on this force buy coming out from Virtus.Pro. We have Kevlar and pistols being bought. Not much Kevlar though. Taz has full armor. Pasha's got the Kevlar. Other than that, they're all naked, but they somehow spent most of their money. So we've got a bunch of players are going over towards Ivy once again. Pasha closing the distance with the scout there, coming in close range, and this might be fun. He's going to get the headshot as well. Can he get more than one? Bit of a tag coming in onto Chris J, so he's done some damage, but there are only 2 Virtus.Pro players left.
And he is in there with the Deagle now, looking for that stray bullet to connect. But he won't be able to find any kills just yet, as we have the safe play from mousesports. They will start to find themselves all the way towards that. Well, they'll start grouping up, essentially. Grouping up, making sure that they can eliminate any possibilities for Virtus.Pro to pick them off one by one without trades. I mean, if you have the man advantage, that's one of the basic things you want to be looking out for. And mousesports will find their way towards that B-bomb site. And it's, again, a more easy choice to go for because there's less positions to worry about. You've got those 3 main channels. It's pretty easy to control. Not too many hiding spots next to the bomb site itself. We can see Taz might be the only man here that can do anything, but he's got limited bullets with the CZ, and he is not able to accomplish all that much, leaving Neo with the scout.
Neo can do a lot here. There are 3 players he can one-shot with this scout. This could be huge, but it might not be huge at all. He's got 1 HP now, so that's going to be a quick exit for Neo. So, nope.
And he can drop both of those guns at the start of the next round and buy up a P250 or something as well. So it's actually pretty important that he saves, because a scout and a deagle, you can get a lot of damage with those into that next round when Virtus.Pro are going to be thinking about going for a full save.
Yep, so nowhere Neo is now. But again, how much do mousesports want to lose in this situation? How much will they be concerned about their economy, knowing that Nex and Spiddy can be served up to the god that is Neo? So he will save that scout and the deagle. Let's see what they choose to do with it in the coming round. Made a bit of money for himself as well. Got 42.50 in the bank now. So indeed, perhaps. Sorry, that's next to 42.50. Let's see, Neo's got 26.50, so he could buy a P250 if he wanted to, or just hold on to one of those 2 weapons.
Thank you.
So Snacks has been thrown, the Deagle, and I think Neo will continue with the Scout. Looks like he's going over to upper B. So we'll see what more damage, if any, Virtus.Pro can do before they come into their buy round.
Yeah, it's a lot to be done. There is a lot to be done with a Deagle and a Scout on a map like this. I'd say this is one of the easier maps to actually do stuff like that. Then, you know, again, I think one of the worst maps on the CT side, if you're just stuck to like a Scout and a pistol, is a map like Dust 2, because the space is very open and it's very easy for the Ts to find favorable engagements and to avoid you entirely. It's not the case here on Train though. You can see Neo might be able to spot ahead if he does get a bit more aggression out of Dennis, but Dennis is staying well out of the way. This is very passive here. mousesports, you know, one of the big criticisms for them in the past has always been that anti-eco play, and they are up against eco right now, and they're not taking any risk there. Essentially making sure that if there is to be an aggressive play early into the round by Virtus.Pro with their lack of weaponry, that they can easily deal with that. But now it's getting a bit late. They've got to make a play, and the move is happening.
Yeah, looking at how passive most of the VP players are playing as well, and with 45 seconds left on the clock, this could get difficult for mousesports as they approach the bomb site here. They need to get some picks before they do. And look at this. Look where the bomb is at the moment. This makes me worry, Dan. We've seen this more than once, and they're going to go for a smoke execute against an eco, Dan, which makes me worry even more. 29 seconds left as they're going to move into the site. And look at the line of smokes they put down. They have to go through the smokes to plant the bomb now. So things could get super weird. Bomb's gone down already. 20 seconds remaining now. And they're going to have to gamble through the smoke. We've got Swipes coming in with the blades. Taz takes the bomb down again. Now next is turn to try and get it down. Spitty and Nico are going to get some frags. And there are 6 seconds. That bomb, it has to go down this time. Otherwise, there's nothing else to be done. And it will just about do it, Dan. Why is it always so close with mousesports?
Yeah, obviously, you know, they did the first part correctly, and so the first part is okay. We don't want to you know, lose out against any, you know, fast aggressions in the rounds. Okay, so you know, you burn some time doing that. Then the problem is, as we saw there, is that they're like, oh god, let's throw down the smokes because we don't know what to do. And in doing so, you allow the pistols to get close ranges because you're basically playing against your own advantages. And the reason why they felt pressured to do that is because they didn't leave themselves enough time to explore other options. So yeah, that's as I said previously, it has always been a criticism of theirs, and we'll have to see how that plays out in the future. Because now it's a buy versus a buy. Got the AWP on Chris J and Virtus.Pro limited grenades, so this is going to be very tough for the CT side of Virtus.Pro.
Indeed, the important thing is that they still have a few smokes that they've mostly just deployed to slow down the mousesports push here. I do wonder if Snacks is going to get aggressive, and indeed he just had a pop flash into A main, had a quick look, saw nobody was there, so he's got some information for his team for the time being, and that's the kind of play you want to see when a team is down on utility, so that's nice by Virtus.Pro. They could opt to leave a man in there, although they're choosing to play on the site itself on top of the train. Again, Nico just lurking, harassing over towards B, and he's going to draw Neo from his position on A. 1 minute mark. 3 plays over towards Ivy for mousesports. They don't have possession of main at the moment. Again, the same as the anti-eco. Next is just outside it for the time being. When will they start to take their map control?
Yeah, again, it's always going to be a bit of an issue. mousesports do like to play very slow, and Virtus.Pro are going to know this, and they can't get too aggressive on a map like this on the CT side. It's difficult. By the way, the push is beginning to happen as we start to see players from mousesports poking in their heads, and Spitty is going to get himself a kill. That's a beautiful entry through the alley, and now Snacks essentially is alone. He's getting pinched on towards in that forward position of his, and that's not going to work out. Not good enough for more than a single kill, and that's going to be up to Taz and Neo, but Spitty with a perfect position will easily take down them both. And it's a 4-0 start here for mousesports, and another eco for Virtus.Pro.
Yep, so Virtus.Pro on around $3,000. On the plus side for them, they'll be on maximum loss bonus in the following round, so the full buy will be coming out as long as they don't spend too much on this occasion. Taz picking up a deagle. Bits and bobs being collected by the Virtus.Pro side, but for the most part, mousesports looking all good in the hood. Now, are they going to have a super passive approach on this anti-eco as we saw in the previous one? The layout at the very least is going to be different. They've got 3 people moving through the halls, as you can see there. Chris J holding a very long angle towards Ivy, and Spitty will be the one to take care of main. Now, what will mousesports do over towards B? Are they going to bide their time? Go for a high-low split, perhaps? There's a lot they can do or not do. as it may be, not wanting to give their position away with sound. And it seems they may creep out, trying to use the range that's afforded to them by the high ground here, spotting a play towards connector, and now they will move into the site.
And we already had a fast crack from Taz, but it looks like that is what he'll be limited to, just one. And there's no remaining players for Virtus.Pro with Deagle, so those long ranges, mousesports are fairly safe, especially with Chris J watching the channels. But the smokes will make life a little bit more difficult for the T's as the CTs are allowed to get a bit closer behind the cover, but it's still not enough. Nico in a forward, in a forward position will be able to combine with Nico for the frags here. They've really stopped the effort. Snacks is going to be getting closer, but without a kit and with so much time gone, there's no chance to win the round. He's going to try to get the damage in, but again, denied by Chris J this time. And Pasha, long range with the P250, getting some damage in, and I mean, mousesports realize it's not worth it. He's only carrying a P250. You don't have to risk dying to him. He's waiting for a gun to be blown across the floor there by the C4. It looks like he can't find anything.
I would like to see multiple AWPs here from Virtus.Pro, because for me, the way mousesports are playing so slowly, I think they could just sit there and hold angles against them, to be honest. So, I mean, it's an option that Snacks could pick up an AWP. Neo could pick up an AWP, for example, either or. And it seems they might be discussing it, and there it is. Neo's going to pick up the second AWP. He may be playing it towards B, we'll have to see, but I think this is a great response to how mousesports are playing at the moment, leaving it so slow. Obviously, if the smoke executes come in, then they have a decision to make. They can choose to charge forward and hold advanced positions, or choose a different path. But indeed, two AWPs on the map. Neo holding towards connector, from connector towards main. He can rotate towards B as well, so he can be the rotation man and hold a high ground for Taz. And second AWP will be Pasha holding towards Ivy.
Yeah, and we should see some action towards Ali here, and we'll have to highlight Taz a little bit later. This has usually been one of Taz's best maps in that B position, but Pasha might get himself some love with this AWP. There's the shot, but for Chris J, and not Pasha, he's a bit too slow, and Chris J's anticipation there will pay off, as the early frag has been won by mousesports. But that's not enough. You have to understand as a team how to play that early round advantage once you've won it. So the first phase has gone well, but what will be in store for us for that second phase for mousesports?
Let's not forget, because mousesports have Kassad behind them now. I do wonder if he's doing any calling for the team. I know he is the coach. Obviously, right now, Nico's in a passive position, just holding angles towards B, which would allow him to concentrate more on what his team are doing. But maybe we'll find out a bit later what Kassad's role is in all this. So we've had a rotation away from the Ivy position. Dennis is still harassing over there. And you can see Neo's being drawn away from the B bomb site now because of that pick on Pasha. And now Taz is playing very, very passively. So it might be a retake or maybe even an abandoned chip here from the CTs. Taz moving in now as the clock continues to tick down. No nades flying in towards A. But he's on his own. There's nobody rotating here for the CTs.
And the push will come in. There is a lurker towards Ali. We'll have to see first if Taz can hold here and do enough damage to the push, because there's only 12 seconds to plant. Nothing can go wrong. And we have the fast trade frag, so the bomb can, in fact, be planted. But that flank is starting to be a problem now. Dennis is going to be coming in soon. So if the T's can hold the initial ground here towards the bomb, then that should be the round won by them. Neo not able to miss these shots at this point. Snacks as well has his back completely open as Dennis arrives. But Chris J will be the one to get the first kill there. And Dennis finally, with that lurk, able to finish off the last player. Neo is dead. 5-0, and it is a good start here for mousesports. And it would be quite fun to get clarification on the on what Kassad is doing. Is he actually doing a lot of the calling? Is maybe just some mid-round stuff? We'll have to see later on.
So Virtus.Pro down to around $4,000, and they're going to go for the force buy now. They will be limited on grenades and weaponry as well. We've got double mag 7s coming out for Virtus.Pro, so it seems they are tired of losing rounds, and maybe this is a play. If they expect a slow round from mousesports, a passive round, maybe they're going to try and get close and surprise them. But mousesports going for fast peeks towards the A site. That's going to pay off by Ali going down straight away. There are more players here, 3 players on the A site now. Taz might be coming in for a bit of a rotation as well. Mousesports changing the pace and the pace and the pace and the pace here, but is it going to pay off?